Ashley Bellerose. When I first started here at Montewin, I was a frontline support worker. I then got promoted to team lead, and now I'm the wellness coordinator here.
My name is James Bellerose. When I first started here, I was also a frontline support worker. It was in December of 2023, and now I've been promoted to peer support worker, and as of today, I've been promoted also to acting supervisor.
Okay, so can you tell us about your personal lived experience journeys?
I was introduced to substance at a very young age. I was 10 years old when I had my first drink. Alcohol was kind of always my go-to, and then as I got older, I kind of just graduated to harder substance throughout my teen years and then into adulthood. And then most recent, before my recovery journey started, I was addicted to fentanyl and stomach. Yeah, opiates was my rock bottom. Yeah. We went through a lot of hardships. We have an older daughter, she'll be 6. She was about 3.5 months old. We had relapsed after a stint of sobriety, and we lost her to the system. She's now adopted, and she lives with friends of the family. That's when things kind of got really bad. From that point, after she was apprehended, we came to Edmonton to look for help. So we were living in a small town at the time. We came here to go to detox, and we ended up meeting up with a friend and got introduced to opiates. Things got really bad after that. And after multiple attempts to get sober, we finally just got serious. James went off to detox first. He got in right away. We had gotten separated at some point, and I stayed on the streets for another 2 weeks. So at that point, I was seeing a bunch of my friends like overdosing, and it was right after my birthday, and I just decided, I was like, I don't want this to be my life anymore. And so I went to detox. I followed suit. James had already at that point gotten into treatment center. I went to detox, and then I left after about 10 days. I had gotten off the opiates. I left and started living with family members, and I just got sober on my own. At that point, James had gotten into a sober living house. I got in contact with that manager, got into a sober living house, and then things just progressed from there. And so now we're going on 4 years sober this October. We have another daughter, she's 2 years old, so things are really good now.
My story is pretty similar. I was introduced to substances at the age of 16. I was raised in a very strict Christian home. My parents lovingly tried to help me out through all they could, but I'd already experienced abandonment issues with my biological mother who left me with my dad. And that kind of started things from there. And, I went through stuff at home also. No way of, venting or, dealing with the stuff that I knew how. And so when I found substances, they kind of took me and helped me escape inside of my head. And I was on and off drugs for 20 years. I had stints of sobriety that only lasted up to about 6 months at a time. And then when I was relapsed, because I never dealt with the underlying problem, which was all the stuff I was holding in. Along the way, I met Ashley. We met on the streets. At one point, we decided we had enough, and she went first this time and got sober, and then I followed suit. We got married shortly after, and then she got pregnant shortly after that. We did well for a while. We settled in Barhead, where my family lives, and they helped us out a lot, and we both got jobs. We had a place, we had a vehicle, but there was still that underlying problem where we struggled. I was struggling especially. You don't know how to deal with stuff like anger, frustration, even fear. All you know how to use is drugs to deal with those things. It's what you're going to turn to when stuff gets hard. Like Ashley said, we relapsed, and when our daughter got apprehended, instead of making me, try and turn my life around and get her back, it just pushed me deeper into my addiction. We moved to the city. We were pretty much living out of our car. We had, no means of getting anywhere, staying anywhere, no one to help us. We didn't know where to turn. We were never really on the streets, but we were always, on the streets trying to find our next fix. But we were never home. We did have a home. We struggled and we struggled and we struggled. And like she said, we had no one to turn to. We didn't know where to go. And man, if we knew about Niganan, even back then, it would have changed everything. But we went through what we went through, and I remember the day we lost our place, and what happened was we got to an argument, and we were both upset, and because we lost our home, and we literally were on the streets, and that's when I was kind of like, I'm done. I need to do something. I went to detox, and from detox they helped me get into treatment, and from treatment I got into a sober living house, and then Ashley, followed suit. And I lived in there for the all men's one, and she lived in the all women's one, and we were really close to each other, so we seen each other daily, and we still had our struggles, but treatment really taught us to, tools to help us deal with that. Showed us where to put our emotions, and we had each other, and our higher power was substantial in helping us get through everything too. And I actually got pregnant. I found a really good job with a really big construction company in the city. I didn't like construction, but I did it anyways, just because, it paid the bills. And we eventually got our own place. We had our baby. And yeah, fast forward a year and a half after that, she applied here at Niganan. She got recommended by a friend of ours, and who works here. And then I followed her 3 weeks after.
Yeah.
3 weeks afterwards, and never ever had a job where I was happy to go to. I love coming to work, and all those years that felt wasted on on using and addiction and frustrations and anger. Now I can take all that stuff and put it in and use it to help people here. I can relate to so many people that are in Niganan who come here every day, and I recognize I even know some of the people that walk through these doors. And it's so good to see them and say, hey man, I was on the streets, if I can get off it, please let me help you show
So
you
what would a place like Massawin have meant to you at the time?
Just being here every day and seeing all the supports that are offered here to, the people that we serve, and just the connection that people have here. And I think that it would have, it's a lot of what ifs, but maybe have gotten our daughter back. Maybe we probably, most definitely would have got sober a lot sooner, had a higher success rate, and just had that love and support that we would have needed in that time. Yeah, I think.
When you're out there, it's the feeling of hopelessness and feeling lost is enormous. When you're full blown into your addiction, you think that that's who you are. That is what you become. So you hit a point where you accept it, right? Because if you can't find people to help you, no one's out there, and don't get me wrong, we've had people, family members especially, trying to help us numerous times, but we always burn those bridges. They could only handle so much. But if we would have been able to walk into a facility like Niganan and been able to be hey, wow, all these people are just showing us love and they don't even know us, that basis right there would have changed everything for us. I agree too that we probably would have got our daughter back, and I agree that we would have been sober and on track sooner. And that's all I wish for all the people out there. I wish I could just gather up everyone in the city and just show them Niganan, because you just drive around the city and you can see it. There's people literally lost in themselves
everywhere.
It's so sad. But there's hope here. That's what I love about Niganan.